The old fisherman swore he saw it again last night. A shadow, with a tail like a silver banner, gliding through the moonlit shallows, where no creature should dare to swim. They call this stretch of coastline the Forgotten Shore, a place where the water meets ancient rock formations, carved by centuries of patient waves. Here, where tide pools glitter like scattered jewels and kelp forests sway in underwater cathedrals, lives a creature that the eldest villagers speak of in hushed, reverent tones. The turtle Pokémon, they call it, a being of water and wisdom, with fur-covered ears that flow like ribbons in the current, and a magnificent tail said to symbolize 10,000 years of life. Some dismiss these stories as fantasy. Others know better. This particular morning, the shore awakens to chaos. A fishing vessel has run aground during the night's unexpected storm, its hull cracked against the jagged reef that locals call the Dragon's Teeth. Oil seeps from the damaged engine, spreading across the surface in rainbow-sick patterns that poison everything it touches. The tide pools, those delicate nurseries where countless small creatures begin their lives, now sit directly in the slick's path. Deep beneath the waves, in a grotto worn smooth by patient water, ancient eyes open. The creature emerges slowly, cautiously, its blue hide catching the fractured morning light that filters down through the surface. At roughly 3 feet tall and weighing just over 49 pounds, it moves with a grace that belies its solid, defensive form. Its shell gleams, not the bright cyan of youth, but a deeper, weathered blue that speaks of countless seasons survived. The furry tail trails behind like a battle standard, and those distinctive ears sweep back as it senses the wrongness spreading through its territory. Something is killing the water. That is the only way to understand the sensation. The creature has lived along this shore for longer than the oldest human can remember, watching generations of fishermen come and go, learning the rhythm of boats and nets, and the strange two-legged beings who walk the land. It has weathered storms that would terrify lesser beings, retreating into its shell when danger struck too close, letting its powerful tail lash out at threats, even when its head remained safely hidden. But this slow, creeping death is something new. The creature swims toward the contamination, every instinct screaming to flee in the opposite direction. The oil burns where it touches, irritating sensitive skin, clouding vision. Smaller water dwellers dart past in panic, their tiny forms silvering through the murk as they seek clean water. The creature watches them go, understanding their fear, sharing it, but it does not follow. Instead, it surfaces near the tide pools, that magnificent head breaking through the poisoned film with a spray of tainted water. The sight that greets those ancient eyes is devastating. Trapped creatures struggle in the shallows, too small or too slow to escape. The oil has already begun to coat the rocks, turning the once crystal pools into death traps. The creature's first instinct is to use what it knows best: water. It inhales deeply, drawing upon that inner reservoir of power that all water types possess, and releases a concentrated stream toward the nearest pool. The blast pushes some of the oil back, clearing a small patch of surface. But the moment the pressure stops, the slick creeps forward again, relentless and hungry. This approach will not work. The contamination is too vast, too persistent. The creature retreats beneath the surface, shell scraping against familiar rocks as it thinks. Its defensive instincts urge withdrawal. Hide in the grotto. Wait for the poison to pass. Let nature take its course. For generations, that strategy has served well. When threatened, protect the vulnerable parts and strike only when necessary. But as it hovers in the murky water, watching the oil spread like a dark hand reaching for everything it loves. Something shifts in that ancient heart. The tide pools cannot retreat into shells. The small creatures cannot wait out this storm. And if the poison reaches the kelp forests, the underwater gardens that shelter and feed so many, a decision crystallizes, hard as the shell that protects its body. The creature surfaces once more, but this time it does not swim toward the contamination. Instead, it turns toward the village, toward the wooden docks where fishing boats bob and humans gather to stare at the disaster they have caused. It has spent a lifetime hiding from their kind. Today, it will ask them for help. The creature pauses at the edge of the dock's shadow, its heart hammering against the interior of its shell. Above, human voices rise in urgent conversation, words it cannot understand, but tones it recognizes. Fear, frustration, helplessness. They feel it too, this wrongness spreading through the water. For a long moment, it considers turning back. Every survival instinct honed over countless seasons screams that this is foolishness. Humans with their nets and hooks, their loud machines and careless hands. They are the reason the water bleeds black this morning. Why would they help undo what they have done? But then a child's voice cuts through the adult clamor, high and distressed, and the creature sees her, a small human crouched at the water's edge, cupping something in her trembling hands. A tiny crab, barely larger than a pebble, coated in oil and struggling weakly. The child is crying, and in that moment, the creature understands something it has circled around for generations of watching from the shadows. These beings are not one thing. They are not simply destroyers or protectors. They are like the sea itself, capable of terrible storms and gentle tides, of drowning and of cradling life. It surfaces. The reaction is immediate. Gasps, pointing fingers. The child freezes, eyes going wide as dinner plates. An old man, the fisherman who swears he has seen this creature before, drops to his knees on the dock, mouth working soundlessly. The creature does not flee. Instead, it turns its gaze deliberately toward the spreading oil slick, then back to the gathered humans. It repeats this motion. Water, humans, water again, willing them to understand what it cannot speak. The old fisherman is the first to grasp it. His weathered face shifts from shock to something like wonder, and he begins shouting orders to the others. Within minutes, the dock transforms into organized chaos. Boats are launched, not to fish, but to lay down barriers against the spreading contamination. Villagers form chains, passing buckets and absorbent materials, hand to hand. And the creature works alongside them. It uses its powerful tail to create currents that guide the oil toward the barriers the humans construct. Where the contamination proves too thick, it dives deep and pushes clean water up from below, diluting the poison enough for human hands to manage. When a section of boom breaks loose, threatening to let the slick escape toward the kelp forests, the creature is there, shell first, body becoming a living wall until repairs can be made. Hours pass. The sun climbs and falls. The creature's muscles burn with exhaustion, its fur-covered ears heavy with the weight of tainted water it has pushed through again and again. But slowly, impossibly, the tide pools begin to clear. As dusk paints the sky in shades of amber and rose, the creature floats in water that no longer burns. Around it, small lives stir, survivors emerging from hiding, reclaiming their pools, their homes. The oil has been contained, captured, removed by hands that proved capable of healing what they had harmed. The child from the dock appears at the water's edge. Edge once more. In her cupped palms, the tiny crab moves with renewed vigor, cleaned and ready to return home. She kneels, releasing it into a tide pool, then looks up to meet the creature's ancient eyes. She does not try to touch. She does not reach or grab. She simply whispers 2 words that need no translation. Thank you. The creature dips its magnificent head once, an acknowledgement, a farewell, a promise, before slipping beneath the waves. It will return to its grotto, to its patient watching, to seasons yet to come. But something has changed in that weathered heart. Times 200 mountains. A new understanding worn smooth, like stone shaped by water. Some Pokédex entries suggest this creature's tale symbolizes longevity, precisely because it has learned what truly endures. Not isolation, not hiding, but connection. The courage to emerge from one's shell, even when every instinct screams otherwise. The old fisherman will tell this story until his final days. The child will grow up believing in the wisdom that swims beneath familiar waves. And on quiet nights, when moonlight silvers the forgotten shore, careful watchers might still glimpse a shadow with a tail like a banner. No longer quite so forgotten after all. Dive deeper into the world of Pokémon. Subscribe for more documentaries.